Heard the call to build your small business? Make it happen with a .net domain name, the place for dreamers for 30 years and counting. Visit keepdreamingup.net for tips and advice, whether you're just getting started or looking to grow. That's keepdreamingup.net.
Yeah, eat, sleep, fantasy, you rockin' with the best. NFL Fantasy Football Podcast. We talking mock drafts, running backs, better follow the conversation with Dale, Christian, and Armando. Screaming Eat Nation, we doing what we like. Tune in every week, guarantee we get it hype. Fantasy, football enthusiasts, I know you plan to be joining us on Eat, Sleep, Fantasy. Yeah, Eat, Sleep, Fantasy. Eat, Sleep, Fantasy.
All right, everyone, welcome back to another live episode of the Eat Sleep Fantasy Football Podcast. It is Friday, October 27th, and we are the Get Spooky of Fantasy Football Podcast, preparing ourselves for Halloween next week and the scary NFL Week 8. We've got 6 teams on bye, and I know we've got a lot of questions. I see that our phone lines are already lit up before we even started the show. And so I just want to outline today, we're going to be going through questions. We're going to be, pretty much getting you guys prepared for Week 8 in fantasy football. I want to go through some of the news in the NFL, some injury news, some information, some guys that I think might be useful starters for Week 8. Might dive a little bit deeper and go beyond the Antonio Browns and the Lev Bells and the Kareem Hunts and get some guys that you might be able to play this week that might be useful for your fantasy teams. I'm here right now. Dale and Armando will be joining the show a little bit later on. So you're stuck with just me for right now, but it's Friday. I'm ready to talk some fantasy football with you guys, and I'm going to start taking some calls. I see a couple people already dropped out. Guys, you guys have no patience. But here, I'll start the show with a caller from the 660 area code. Caller, hello, how you doing? What's your name? Where are you from?
Hey, what's going on? It's Nick from Portland.
Hey, Nick, how you doing, man?
Not too bad. I just had a quick question for you guys. As you know, in the ESF Fantasy League, my team is bottom of the barrel. It's garbage. It's an absolute dumpster fire. And there's no salvaging this team. So my question's more of an ethics question. If I've got nothing to play for, I should absolutely not be fielding trade offers, correct? Because I don't. There's nothing that it benefits my team for. It can only benefit other people. So at what point do you drop out of the attempt to improve your team? I'm just fighting for not last place.
Right. So this is, that's a good point that you're making here, and that's a great ethical question. And this is why keeper leagues, dynasty leagues are very popular, right? They keep you invested, even if it's for next year. But furthermore, this is why maybe punishments are useful in leagues, right? You don't want to end up last place. So maybe next year, for the Eat Sleep Fantasy League, for our listener league and all that, we should develop a last place punishment. So in your league, maybe it's, last play. Let's talk about a different league, for example. In a different league, maybe we set last place has to contribute extra money for the pot next year, or last place has to, shave their head, get, one of those temporary loser tattoos from Fantasy Loser Tattoo, whatever it might be. But last place should have some sort of punishment, some sort of toilet bowl, and so to try to avoid ending up in last place. But your current situation, your current conundrum is whether or not to field trades. I think it's okay if you're fielding trades, if it's with the intention of you're still trying to make your team better. Even if, let's say you're 1-6. I don't know exactly your team record, but let's say you're bottom of the barrel. Right. And so you should still be trying to win every week just for the, appearance of, hey, I'm still trying to be in this. I've had crazy runs in fantasy. Last year in fantasy football, in my league of record, I think I started either 4-1 or 5-1. I missed the playoffs. I've had seasons where I've started 2-5 and I've made the playoffs. So it's not to say that you're completely out. There's crazier things have happened, right? Just like a team has gone 6-1 doesn't mean you can't make a couple trades, make a couple waiver wire moves, and actually be in it out of nowhere. So just even if you're taking trade offers, just as long as there's no collusion and you're actually trying to make your team better for your team needs, I'm okay with it.
Right on. I appreciate it, man.
All right, man. Have a good rest of your Friday. What are you doing for Halloween?
We are going to a couple of Halloween parties the next couple of nights.
Nice. Okay, great. All right, man. Have fun. Get spooky. Doot. Maybe take some.
Right on. Tell the other guys to sit high when they finally join on.
All right, Dale's on hold. He's going to join the call in right now, but thanks, man, for calling in.
All right, have a good night.
You too. Later. All right, Dale.
What's up?
How you doing, man?
Yeah, man. Thanks for holding down the fort. It's a pretty good show so far, huh?
It's an okay show, except for the first time that I started it, and you told me it was on mute, and so I actually muted it because you told me it was on mute. But nobody knows that because I deleted that episode immediately and started a new one. So and nobody was on hold for that. It's weird. I deleted that episode, started a new one, tweeted out the new one, and when I got on the new call, there was like 3 people on hold.
Nice.
Okay.
Pretty good call.
2 of which dropped out immediately. Huh?
All right.
Just Nick.
Sure.
Just Nick. People have no patience on hold, which was it really sucks.
No.
I want to take a call,
can you imagine,
guys.
Think about like the national shows, like the ESPN shows and stuff. Like some of these guys are on hold for like 45 minutes or an hour waiting to get on air, and some of them don't even make it. We, the way we work the board is we just get everybody in that calls. It just, you gotta just wait your turn. That's all. So. Yep.
And we do it in order. And so we do have a couple calls here. Dale, you want to take some calls with me? I'm gonna assume that this first number here that's on hold right now, with a 786 number. Maybe I shouldn't make any assumptions, but I'm going to go ahead and take this call. All right. And I'm interested in seeing who it might be. Caller from the 786. What's your name? How you doing? Where are you from?
I'm from Miami, Homestead, Florida. My name's Armando.
Oh, motherfucker. I thought it was Curtis. Super disappointed.
Hey, Armando, how's it going, man? Thanks for joining our live show.
Yeah, I just couldn't get on my mic because I don't have any links. But I'm here. I'll be on the show.
No, man, just check the show email. Check your personal email. I literally send
what
it
email
everywhere possible.
ThunderCrespo@gmail, right?
Correct. You probably shouldn't tell your personal email on air.
I told everyone Thunder Crespo on all formats. All formats, guys.
Okay, so everybody, if you want to send inappropriate pictures, you can do so at thundercrespo@gmail.com.
Christian, I want to
Send a
address
nice
something
picture
really
of your
quick.
dick.
I don't know if you talked about this yet or not, but for the folks listening to us for the first time, if this is the very first show you're listening to, it's a little bit different than our normal show. It is live. You're listening to it live, or you can listen to it a couple days later. We saved the episode, but we're doing this on Friday night, and most importantly, our quality isn't 100%. So please don't judge us on the quality of our live show. We give some of the quality away so we're able to stream live. So it's a good trade-off, and I just want to let everybody know.
Yeah, for some reason, when the show goes through the BTR, it doesn't sound the same as when we produce it and record locally. It kind of sounds like a radio show. It sounds like an AM radio show instead of, a professionally produced podcast on high-quality microphones. Either way, guys, that exactly what Dale just said. We do trade off a little bit so that we can come to you live and answer your questions. And we've got some people on hold. If you want to call in, the show number is 657-383-1195. I'm going to go ahead and take a call now from the 604 area code. Caller, what's your name? How you doing? How you feeling? Where you from?
I'm from Vancouver, British Columbia. I'm feeling A-OK. What's that other question you asked me?
Okay. What's your name?
You know it, buddy. Thomas. Thomas Arnold is my name. Yeah, how's it
Thomas
going, man?
Arnold. So you have 2 first names.
I do have 2 first names.
That's pretty cool.
Say.
How's it going, man?
So.
What are you doing on Friday night?
Studying
Falling
for midterm.
Studying for midterm. Okay. Well, before I ask you a different question.
Wait, hold on. What are you studying? What are you studying? Are you in college or high school or what?
I'm in college. I'm in university for networking, like system networking.
Oh, very cool.
I don't know what that
is. It's like
what's the name
internet
of the school?
And shit. BCIT. It's the British Columbia Institute of Technology.
That sounds like it might be a good school. Like
it's
MIT, but Canada's version of
it's
MIT.
It's kind of like the lesser. It's like British Columbia's MIT. It's not as like prestigious as MIT. It's not like I'm not that smart, but yeah, it's a pretty good school.
That's awesome, man.
Nice.
So what's up? You got some fantasy questions for us?
Yeah, I had a question. You guys were talking about, maybe like consolidating your roster and stuff for the playoffs. And this is my first year of playing fantasy football, but I'm 4-3 and doing pretty good. I have a decent roster, but I kind of wanted to know, like, what is there a good balance between, picking, like, if I'm 4-3, but other people are like kind of 4-3 or around that area. Should I be prioritizing most of my players going forward for great matchups and great schedules, or should I, still be trying to focus in on winning the current matchups now? Am I getting too involved in trying, like, overthinking it, too much?
A bit of both, right? If you're trying to consolidate your roster, right, and you're trying to get a Lev Bell, a Zeke, a Kareem Hunt, a guy like that, a Todd Gurley. Maybe you're not looking at end of season schedule as much because those guys are going to be pretty good regardless of matchup. So, for example, Kareem Hunt's going to be inside my top 10 no matter what, even though he's playing Denver this week. So if you're trying to consolidate your roster, you do want to look at schedule. You definitely want to see what's going on there, especially that weeks 12 and 13 before you get into your playoffs and weeks 14, 15, 16 of your actual playoffs. But maybe you're getting a little bit ahead of yourself at 4-3, just assuming that you're going to make the playoffs. So my honest answer is you look at it, it's a factor, but right now you want to get the best possible players to win now. So it's a factor moving forward, and there's no reason, right, you can't flip for a player now that has a good schedule coming up now, and then his schedule gets worse, he's had a few good games, you flip him again before the trade deadline.
So, yeah, I understand. I think part of it was overreacting because I had my roster. I'm in an 8-team league, so my roster is pretty good. Like, I just traded for AB. I traded Michael Thomas, Deshaun Watson, and something else for AB and, like, 2 scrubs. And so my roster is pretty good. So, like, I'm 4-3, but I played against someone with Baltimore, the defense yesterday. And I played Jarvis Landry, and I was all excited, and I was like, oh, God. And so now I'm just sitting there at a 29-3 hole, so I'm just like, oh, shit.
That's not good. That's not a good start, man. But,
no, not exactly, but, yeah.
In an 8-team league, you should have enough firepower on your team, especially if you got guys like Antonio Brown. You might be able to overcome that deficit. It sounds like you should be okay. Definitely look at the later season schedule, but don't make that everything because you still, I mean, you're 4-3. If everything goes right, maybe 5-3. If things go wrong, you're 4-4. You're still in the mix of it, but you got to worry about right now a little more than you worry about later. Just make it a factor, right?
Yeah,
you're looking at matchups as part of it. That late season matchups is part of it, but look at right now first. You got to get there first.
Yeah. As far as Kareem Hunt goes, I'll get off the line in a sec. He's up against Denver this week. It's pretty brutal. Would you play someone like Alvin Kamara over Hunt, or is Hunt, his floor is solid enough that you'd still probably go with Hunt?
I'm still going with Hunt in that scenario. However, I mean, you are in an 8-team league, so maybe you have two options that are better than Kamara. Kamara's still a solid RB2 for me. So unless you're just absolutely stacked, I think you could probably get away with playing both of those guys. New Orleans at home. Chicago's pass defense is great, but their run defense is middle of the road. I think you can get away with some good production from both Kamara and Ingram this week.
Yeah. Cool. All right. Take care, guys. Thanks for taking my call, and have a good Halloween, eh?
All right. You too, man.
Say it.
All right, Armando. I'm sorry I put you on hold there for a second. How you doing, Armando? Fuck you, Armando. Jesus Christ. All right, so we got a couple more calls on the line. I think I'm gonna take one of these guys right now. Don't want to make you wait much longer. So, caller from the 920 area code. What's your name? Where are you from? And how you doing?
My name is Sean. I'm doing great. The team's okay, but I want your reaction to a trade that I just did, and also a trade that is being proposed to me. I had Davante Adams, and obviously he's trending downward with Rodgers going down and Hundley not looking too great to start at least. But I just feel like he's one of my weaker links. I don't have a stacked team by any means. It's a 12-man PPR. So I got rid of Davante for Josh Doxson. And I'm wondering what your initial reaction to that is. Did I go too low? I mean,
yeah, I think you did. And I'll be very honest. My initial reaction is I think you overreacted on 1 week of Doxson and 1 week of your production from Adams. I'm still a pretty firm believer that Davante Adams is going to be decent. Right? You're not going to get the wide receiver 1, high-end wide receiver 2 numbers that you were getting with Aaron Rodgers. But I still think there's going to be enough there to make him – it's more of a low-end 2 for me, maybe even going a little further, high-end 3. So it's not fantastic. I think you got better options out there. But I think if you're going to trade away Davante Adams, you might have been able to go for a guy – like Adam Thielen, for example, that I think is
that was the one there was 2 of them. I proposed Thielen and I proposed Doxson, the 2 different teams. So the Doxson guy took it first. So, but I was hoping for Thielen because I really thought the guy that had Thielen was going to get rid of him for Adams because he tried to trade me for Adams earlier in the season. Yeah, I know. I was just hoping. I'm thinking Doxson. They drafted him high. He's good. He's got good size and he seems to have a good future ahead. And the coach talking him up and stuff. And it's sort of funny. I originally had drafted Doxson like in the last round of the draft this year too, but I dropped him because he got hurt earlier. But my other trade is for I have Mike Evans. And he's been steady Eddie all year pretty much, just like usual. Yep. But I had a guy at work that proposed to me Amari Cooper and Alvin Kamara for my Mike Evans. Okay.
And do you need a running back right now?
Okay, let me tell you, my running backs. That's where I'm really. It's been a waiver situation for me because I lost Dave Johnson. I lost Danny Woodhead right away earlier in the season. So I've been waiver wiring my lineup for I have Buck Allen, I have Bilal Powell, I have James White.
Oh boy.
And I have Deion Lewis and Jalen Richard.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I think
I need
moving forward. Okay, so this week you might be able to play either Lewis or Richard, but you're looking to kind of solidify that a little bit. Alvin Kamara, rest of season, realistically, is an RB2. That's where I'm at on that. I think Lewis is probably an RB3. Richard is a, fill-in guy just basically this week. Is a guy that maybe you can play, maybe not. You do need another running back. But trading away Mike Evans for that is not something that necessarily I would love to do. So give me here my honest opinion. I think you could get a little bit more than what you're getting in that trade. I am not hugely happy with Cooper rest of season. I don't believe that he's going to be fantastic. He's more of a low-end wide receiver too. And Mike Evans is one of the 3-4 best receivers in the league, fantasy-wise for me. I think rest of season, he's still going to be a top 5 wide receiver. Like you mentioned, he's solid every week. You're getting about 12 fantasy points. So it's close. If you really need the running back depth, you can do it. But I think you can get a little bit more for Evans just based on name. Try to see if you can go slightly higher on the running back position. Kamara's not a bad option. Is it a PPR league?
It's a PPR league. And the other guy he has...
That helps a little bit more because Kamara's better.
Yeah, I know. He's got Ezekiel Elliott, and LaShawn McCoy as his starters. And he's got Kamara in his flex right now. And then his other running backs are just McFadden and Alfred Morris. So.
Okay.
Yeah. So I don't know. I was going to propose doing like a straight up Mike Evans for McCoy, or I didn't think he'd go for Zeke, but would that be something maybe?
That's also a good option. McCoy's got a great schedule end of season. He's a guy that I kind of like, but if you can listen, the Kamara's trades is okay. The PPR actually helps. The guy's going to keep catching passes like nobody's business. So that actually helps a little bit.
Cooper in the slot, And
what's his other receiver? Does he have another receiver that he might be able to throw in instead of Cooper?
Let's see. He's got Michael Thomas and T.Y. Hilton.
Oh man. Hilton and Cooper about the same thing. If there's any way that you could do Thomas and well, I don't know if you want both Saints guys. Listen, man, if you could get another piece there, and because I think you definitely need to get something at the running back position, I might do it. Kamara in a PPR league. I think Kamara in a PPR league is probably a top 15 running back rest of season. So it's not.
That's what I was thinking too. Yeah.
It's not brutal. You might have to do it. It's not the best either, but I think you're okay enough that you can get away with it.
Right, and just hope Cooper
send out some other feelers.
Here on out.
Yeah.
Right.
Send out some other feelers. See if you can, get in, a couple different pieces there. Some guys that might be wanting to bail out because I think you can get a little bit more. But if you have to, it's not brutal. It's like a B. It's a B trade. It's not an A trade.
Right. Okay.
All right.
Well, thanks for taking my call, man.
No problem. Have a good rest of your weekend and happy Halloween too. So we'll talk to you later.
All right. Yeah, you too, man. All right, later.
All right, we got 2 786 callers, and I know one of them is Armando, but I don't know which one. So I am going to just take a guess that it is the 786. Let's try this one. Hello, is this Armando?
What's up, Rito? Yes, I'm here.
All right, cool. So we got another caller from the 786. So I'm going to go ahead and answer that right now. We've gotten nonstop calls since I started the show. So, all right.
That's awesome.
Caller from the 786. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
What's up, guys? Curtis.
What's up, Curtis? How you doing, man?
Hey, Curtis.
Hello, guys. How have everything been?
Good, man. Do you not work on Fridays? Honest question.
No, I'm off on Friday nights.
Oh, okay. That's the worst. That's the best night to be off at a restaurant.
Yeah.
Like consistently off on Fridays. You definitely have some influence at that place. Okay. So what's up, man? How can we help you?
Oh, my bad. I'm sorry. Well, right now I need to win. I don't need to win 1-on-1 this week. I'm going against the other guys in my league who's 6-1, and I'm 6-1. And he's been talking shit all week, and I've been talking shit all week. So I need to kick his ass.
Okay.
So
all right. So what's
right now? My receivers this week is Julio Jones, Michael Thomas, and I got Tyreek Hill as my third receiver. Now I love Tyreek Hill because upside is he has like one of the biggest upsides, but it's going against Denver, and that kind of makes me just a tad nervous.
Right.
My other receivers I have is Stephon Diggs and Josh Doctson.
Okay.
I can't really get behind Diggs because that groin injury and
right.
He kind of like pushed me to the curb with that groin injury. I got Josh Doctson because that I had Terrell Pryor and I dropped him because he's a sack of shit basically.
Right.
And so right now, just looking at that, I put Alvin Kamara in my flex because I have Leonard Fournette on bye. My other running back is Doug Martin. I like Alvin Kamara better than Doug Martin this week because I feel that Carolina's run defense can stop Doug Martin and it could turn to a shootout and more passing than throwing, and he's more of a running back instead of a passing down back.
Okay.
So
what
do you guys think?
Let's start with the wide receiver position. I would go with the Julio, Michael Thomas, Tyreek Hill. Julio's got a good matchup. I think he probably scores again this week. I know last week was the first time. I think he scores again this week. Michael Thomas does not have a good matchup with Chicago, but I think he's still going to be solid enough. He's going to get you 80-something yards like he has been every week. You're just hoping that he gets the touchdown this week. Sometimes he does, sometimes he doesn't. I think he'll be okay as well. Tyreek Hill is where I'm worried. But your other options, like you mentioned, are Diggs and Dotson. I'd rather have Tyreek Hill. However, I'm not as worried. Stephon Diggs is the guy that's going to continue to climb my rankings this weekend because he practiced limited on Wednesday, full participant on Thursday, full participant on Friday, and he's playing Cleveland. So Diggs is a guy that when I initially ranked him, I was worried, was in my 30s. By the end of today, he'll be in my 20s, probably even higher than that. I think you could start Diggs with confidence, but I'd rather have Hill even against Denver. I think Kansas City's offense is for real, and Denver, while they've been phenomenal against the run and they're really good against the pass, I think they still give up some big plays, and Tyreek Hill will be okay enough to start over Diggs this week. At the running back position, though, even though Carolina is a scary matchup, they're not Denver, and I think Doug Martin has been solid in his 3 starts. I think I'd rather have him. Is it a PPR league?
Yeah, it's full PPR. That's the issue. That's why I went Kamara because it's full PPR.
You go Kamara. I think he sticks Kamara on that one for sure.
Man. Boy.
Yeah,
I got to go to my actual rankings between Martin and Kamara in full PPR.
You have
yeah, I think I have Kamara.
Yeah.
I actually have it flipped. Yeah, I have Martin over Kamara in standard, and I have Kamara over Martin in PPR. So there you go.
Yeah.
You got your lineup set the right way.
Yeah, because with that different matchup, because I have Kareem Hunt and I got Tyreek Hill, and then I got Harrison and Butler is on the kicker. I try to cover my bases on all the points.
Yeah, you're good, man.
Just throw it out there. I have Tyreek Hill ranked 19 and Diggs ranked 11. So if you really want to, I would rather have Diggs over Hill this week, just based off matchup.
Oh boy. I'll have I'll have Hill, but I think Diggs is okay as well. Like I don't think either one of the guys is going to kill you.
Yeah, I like the upside of Diggs this week. It's just too huge for me. That's what she said.
That is what she said.
All right.
You did not help Curtis right now, Armando. You just fucked his position where he doesn't know what to do now.
Oh my, let me. It is a complete clusterfuck now.
Yeah. All right, man. Well, that did not help you at all, but
I appreciate that. I mean, I appreciate the help, man. I'm gonna sit here and continue listening to the podcast. Hopefully you guys speak on it more with other callers, and I get a better idea of how I want to work this.
Okay. All right, man. Have a good weekend.
I'll send you guys.
All right. Get that 7-1. All right. Okay, Armando, we got more calls. You want to answer some more calls? You want to go through some news? What do you want to do?
Yeah, let's answer some calls. I don't want to leave them on hold.
Okay. All right. This guy's been on hold for like 6 or 7 minutes already. Okay, let's go right here. Caller from the 614. Caller from the 614. What's your name? How you doing? Where you from?
Yeah, g'day, boys. It's Chris calling from Australia.
Hey. Oh, yeah. That number is a little bit longer than the other ones. Okay. What's up, man? How you doing in the Listener League? I know you're in the Listener League, right?
Yeah, man. I'm in the Listener League.
Are you still in first place?
Take down the chip. No, I'm running 5-2 now.
Oh, boy.
5-2. And I'm wondering why Dale didn't take me up on my offer. He didn't answer my message.
What was the offer?
He's on a trip right now. Yeah, he's not here right now.
Oh, well, that answers that question then. Hey, can I give you some fun facts about Australia?
Fun facts about Australia? Hell yeah, absolutely.
Hell yeah. Now, Australia's former Prime Minister Bob Hawke has set the world record for sculling 2.5 pints of beer in less than 7 seconds. That's our Prime Minister.
Wow. That's impressive.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
2.5 pints of beer.
The highest rate of
7
gambling
seconds.
in the world, 11 seconds.
11 seconds.
Do you know what, that's a yard glass. Do you know what a yard glass is?
No idea.
Yeah, one of those, like one of those big drinks that you get at like, at Senior Frogs or one of these like places that college people go to here in the U.S. But yeah, those yard glasses. I know what you're talking about. That's like it's like a party glass. It's a huge glass of alcohol.
Yeah, it's huge. It's got a big balloon at the bottom with a funnel on top, and you have to twirl it while you drink it. Otherwise, the whole thing just pours down your face.
Jesus.
Yeah. That's our former Prime Minister. He holds the record, and he claimed that to be the reason why he became Prime Minister.
So my question for you is, do you guys actually use pints as a measurement there? That's an imperial measurement, isn't it?
No.
In Melbourne, they use pints. Dude. In Sydney, we use schooners, and in Queensland, they use ponies. So ponies are the small ones, schooners are the medium ones, and the pints are, of course, the big ones. But Melbourne was formerly called Batmania. That's an interesting fact too.
No, I don't like that one as much. I'll be honest.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. All right. I've got one more for you. We hold the highest rate of gambling in the world, with over 80% of Australians gambling. That's probably not the best fact to have.
Nope.
Okay, that's great. That's why fantasy football is popular over there, I think. You guys just need something else to gamble on.
Huge. Correct. And our wombats, do you know what a wombat is?
Yeah, those little fuzzy fuckers, yeah.
Their poo, when they do a shit, it is a square. It's a little cube.
That's really interesting, actually.
That doesn't sound true.
Yeah.
Wombat poop.
That's.
Hold on.
Google.
I'm ready. Square poos. Okay, check it out. And while you're checking it out, you can give me some fantasy advice.
Wow,
what was the trade you sent off to Dale?
I sent off, but he's struggling. He's on struggle street. He's been talking up Ted Ginn.
Yeah.
And if he didn't accept my trade, that's fine. But how about you send a counter? So
I agree with that, 100%.
He was talking, I think the trade was Ted Ginn and Tyreek Hill for Antonio Brown, and there was no response.
Who's
giving up?
Brown?
Who's getting Brown?
I'm getting Brown.
Yeah,
he's not going to accept that trade.
Not fair.
I'd rather have Antonio Brown.
How about you counter?
What other receivers do you have? What's your roster like?
On the Listener League, I wish you were in the Listener League, boys. Dak Prescott. I'm starting Rex Burkhead this weekend instead of Todd Gurley. Okay. Well, Todd Gurley's on a bye, so I've got Rex Burkhead. I traded Doug Martin for Jay Ajayi 4 weeks ago. So I've got Doug Martin playing now.
Good.
I've got Tyreek Hill. I'm starting Ted Ginn Jr. I played Benjamin Watson last night. I'm streaming my tight ends. It's not the best best way to go in a 16-man league. I've got Paul Richardson. I'm flexing him this weekend. I've got the Saints DST. I've got Robbie Gould. Who cares? Devontae Adams is on my bench. I've got the Seahawks also on my bench. Samaje Perine, Taylor Gabriel, Mike Colbert, and Corey Davis, waiting for him to come back. Just picked him up off the waivers this weekend.
That's a good pickup.
Okay. Right. I think you're okay.
I would see. Yeah.
I think Ginn is a good call this week over Adams as well.
Yeah. The only way I can see Hill trading is to give up Martin and Tyreek Hill for Brown. It's the only way I can see him trading away Brown to you.
Yeah, right. He's right. Yeah, I'm not going to do that.
No.
Yeah.
But that's just me. Maybe Dale's a little...
That's okay.
It's hard to get Antonio Brown in trades. He's just been not just this year consistent for such a long time that it's just such a proven track record that it's you have to give up a lot to be able to get a consistent player like that.
That's fine. I completely agree. But if he counted, I'm more willing. I was throwing out an option and hoping for him to come back with a counter, to be honest.
Okay. Well, we'll tell him. We'll be your fantasy mediator. Fucking Dale.
Thank you, my friend. Thank you.
All right. Hey, man, get yourself a wombat as a pet. They seem like they're they're fuzzy and cute and very aggressive, apparently.
Yeah, they are.
You can buy like stuffed animal wombat poop online. It's pretty cool looking.
All right.
They have a smiley face and everything.
That's weird.
How much is that?
It's like a $9.99.
We don't have Amazon down under. We do not have Amazon here yet. We're waiting. Oh, it's killing me. I'm waiting for Amazon to come and start their services down under. Please.
Don't worry, man. We're going to tweet at Amazon. We're going to see what's going on.
Thanks, boys.
We have no
Have a great day.
All right, later. I am right now. Later. I am right now going to tweet at Amazon. Australia is such a weird place. I just want to throw that out there.
Yeah, it's different.
It's different. I got to go there. It seems awesome, but scary.
You know,
we
get a free. Awesome. We can work there without a problem. It's a $150 work visa. Just saying, if you ever want to go there.
Well, I mean, we can go most places, Armando.
No, but you can go live there and work without a problem, where you can't do that in other countries.
We can do that in most countries.
No, bro, you have to go through this whole visa long process, where in Australia it's much more streamlined.
Why are you trying to work in other countries?
You can save money, better benefits, health benefits. If you're single, for the ladies. There's lots of different reasons.
Is that why you went to China, for all those reasons?
Sure, yeah. I definitely.
Hey, weren't you with Erica during that time?
No.
Oh. All right, so let's get into some fantasy news. That got weird. Good to have you back on the show.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
You don't really want to talk about last night, right? Dolphins.
I wasn't on last night. Oh no,
I mean,
not at all.
I mean the Dolphins lost. Kenny Stills was the best Dolphins receiver with only 65 yards. There was a Leonte Carroo sighting. Yeah, 8 targets. That's kind of surprising. Maybe just a Matt Moore connection because they're working with the second team so much. But Jesus Christ, he got drafted last year. People were actually kind of mildly excited. That guy's been a total bust. Nothing really to say about him. Do you want to talk at all about the Texans owner?
Yeah, I heard about this morning, and he is kind of a douchebag. But we don't have to go in depth about it. It's really fucked up. But it's so fucked up.
Right. So here's what I want to say. In this NFL climate, you can't be so tone deaf as a as a white owner of an NFL team where the majority of your players are African American players who are actively pursuing to be, role models for black youth. They're actually, trying to evoke change. There's constant protests in the NFL, which has been in the spotlight for a long time. I understand where McNair is what he's trying to say. Like, I get what he's trying to say when he says we can't have inmates running the prison. What he's trying to say is use like some sort of colloquialism and say, we're management and we're not going to have our employees running what management should be doing. But you can't be so fucking tone deaf that you don't realize the racial undertones of what you're saying. You're an owner in the biggest sport in the country. Like, maybe act like it. That's all I got to say about that.
Yeah. Yeah, DeAndre Hopkins walked out.
Yeah. And I'm a super conservative person saying this to this guy. Like, you can't be, in this day and age, so damn tone deaf. All right, that's all I got to say.
Can they fine owners? Because they definitely should.
I don't know.
That's one of the worst things you could have said. Like pretty bad
you have to
for an owner.
Yeah. Remember, this is behind closed doors. It's probably not what he intended to say, but you're an owner of a team. You have to be careful with everything you say, because and even this, like, you need to be mindful, like, who you're representing, right? Who you're in charge of managing, and who those people are people who struggle with racial issues. Even though they're high-profile millionaires, they struggle with racial issues every single day of their lives. Just because you're a millionaire doesn't make you immune to what actually happens to black people in this country. So, and that's my 2 cents. That's all.
That's fair. Let's go back to fantasy real quick.
I just wanted to address that.
No, I think we should. That's a good one.
All right.
I think he's like borderline benchable the rest of the way, Burrito. Can we agree on that?
I think Jay Ajayi is a flex running back from now on. He is no longer like I'm shifting towards. This was a good matchup. Armando,
amazing. Yes.
He can't get to the line of scrimmage.
It's bad.
2 weeks ago.
I don't know whose fault it is.
When he played. 2 weeks ago when he played, I'm going to give you a stat, and I said this on the air. 2 weeks ago when he played the Jets, he had 51 rushing yards. That's not good. But 49 of those 51 rushing yards came after contact.
Yeah.
How fucking ridiculous is that? That means he's getting hit and getting any yards he's getting after he gets hit.
Their O-line hasn't
doing
changed that much.
Their O-line, I don't know what's going on with it, but they're playing horrible. I don't know if Tunsil's not ready to be the left tackle, and Albert wasn't that good last year. Losing Albert shouldn't make this line this bad, but their run blocking is the worst in the league. So, that I'm starting to have some sympathy after last night for Jay Cutler, because clearly, clearly it's not. It was exactly what Adam Gase was saying. It's an offensive line problem. It's not a quarterback problem. All right.
It's tough to watch, man. Did you know that the Dolphins are number 30 in points led per minute, or something like that? The only teams behind them are 49ers and the Browns.
Yeah, that's because, their wins are come from behind, end of the game wins against the Jets, against the Falcons, against the Chargers.
Yeah.
I can't remember who's the fourth team they won against.
Neither can I. Pittsburgh? Was it Pittsburgh?
No.
Let's
just move on. This is really bothering me, but I'd rather just think of it later, and just all right. They got the Tampa Bay game canceled. The Titans.
Oh, that was a horrible game. Oh, my God.
Yeah. Let's just move on. Let's not talk about the Dolphins. This is just depressing. They lost 40-0, Armando. 40-0.
That's awful. But
if that's
you
not
can't blame
bad,
them. That's
not the first game this season they were shut out. Yes,
yeah,
Armando,
no,
but that's the second game in a season that they were shut out in the NFL. Anyone can score in the NFL.
Yeah. It almost happened 3 times against the Jets, and they just got in the last minute of the game.
Right. All right. So, Armando, you got some players that you really like this weekend? Because I want to talk about some maybe sneaky players.
I've been begging all my friends and everyone I can to play George Kittle.
Okay, you did do that, oddly enough. You keep sending me messages to pick up. You keep sending me messages to pick up Kittle. Tell me why.
It's for Dale because they have one of the worst tight end defenses in the NFL. Philadelphia does. And George Kittle has become more a focal point for San Francisco because he's a young, fresh talent.
Right.
And did you see what Vernon Davis and Jordan Reed did to Philadelphia last week? They ripped them apart.
Right.
Yeah. So I just feel like if you're going to start anybody for the 49ers this week, it's got to be George Kittle. He's going to have a huge week.
Let me give the audience here some numbers on Kittle. Last week, we get it. You only saw 2 targets against the Cowboys. But the 2 weeks before that, 17 targets in those 2 weeks for a tight end. That's pretty good. He's playing the Eagles. Armando just mentioned the Eagles. They gave up last week 163 yards and 2 touchdowns to the Washington tight ends. That's a lot. So that's a good matchup. So I got a couple guys here I want to talk about. We already talked about Alvin Kamara. Good option. Touches totals for Kamara in the last 3 weeks. 15, 14, 14. Over those last 3 weeks, in a standard league, he's number 12 amongst running backs. In a PPR league, he's number 9 amongst running backs. Bears, middle of the road against running backs. And they also give up a ton of catches to running. What the Bears do is they're decent against the run, but running backs catch the ball a lot against them. If you look at the last 3 weeks, running backs have caught the ball 21 times in just those 3 weeks against the Bears. So I think this is a very good week for Alvin Kamara. Like we already mentioned that, but I think he's very startable, especially in the PPR leagues. You should be well off.
I have him ranked higher than you right now. I have him at 10. You have him at 13.
Yep. And I think he's inside my top 10 in the PPR league. But, man, that's pretty good for the Saints RB2. You get me?
That's crazy that they have 2 running backs that are in the top 12 this week. That's crazy. You wouldn't think that coming from New Orleans.
They're playing at home in the Dome this week. I think it's a good matchup, too. A good scenario. All right. What else you got for me?
Well, I just want to ask, are you buying into the Chris Thompson hype? Dale has him ranked 10. I have him 13. You have him 15. He's just playing like an RB1.
I'm slightly lower than you guys, but the touch numbers are there. You look at 2 weeks ago, 20 touches. I believe last week he was at like 14 touches or something like that. He's there. He's super productive. And he's getting double-digit touches. I think he's had double-digit touches every week this year except for one. And when you look at a guy that is that useful with the ball and he's going to get touches, like you don't normally see a pass-catching third-down running back getting the ball 10 times at least every single game. But you are with Alvin Kamara and you are with Chris Thompson, which is why these guys consistently moving forward in a PPR are they're borderline RB1s rest of season, and in a standard league they're RB2s. No problem.
Good. That's really good information.
Yeah. Well, there you go. Useful sometimes.
Yeah.
Every once in a while. All right, Armando, we've got maybe a couple more minutes left on our show. If there's anybody listening, I know there is. If you have any questions, we did have, a bunch of questions in a row. I know some people have dropped off because they were on hold for a while. We apologize. If you want to get any questions in before we wrap up our show, you can do so at 657-383-1195. That number is 657-383-1195. A couple more players that
I just want to ask this question. How did you get Antonio Brown? Can you tell me that process, and how long did that take?
How long did it take?
Was it like a week-long conversation?
It took about a day. I basically said, what combination of players and picks can I give to you for Antonio Brown? And then I painted a scenario in which I offered that trade initially involved Diggs. I didn't want to give up Dez. I would have rather have given up Diggs. This is a standard league, and I think that Dez will be slightly better than Diggs moving forward.
Right.
And Diggs, I think Diggs has more upside actually at this point in their careers, but Dez is more consistent.
100% agree.
But it just took a few emails back and forth. It's really annoying that I have to do it over email with a certain owner, but honestly, Armando, and you should know this better than anybody. If you can communicate with somebody and you can kind of work out what they want, it makes trading so much better. So a little bit of trade advice: get these phone numbers, get the trade juices flowing, and you can usually get what you want. Okay,
100% agree.
I think we got a call, but I'm pretty sure it's Dale, so I don't even know if I want to answer it. So I'm just gonna answer it and assume it's Dale. What's up, fucker?
Hi, this is Joe.
Joe. Okay, I'm sorry.
Not Dale.
This is not Dale. Let's start this over. All right. All right, caller. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, this is Joe from Baltimore.
Oh, Flacco?
Yeah, this is Joe Flacco.
Oh, what's up, man? I spoke to your buddy earlier this week. We spoke to Cutler. He's your friend, right? You guys are pals.
Yeah, I know him.
You know him? Do you know him?
I know Jay.
Okay. How you feeling, man? You guys are pretty much in the same boat. You got your, head blown off of you yesterday. You doing okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. Why do you ask? I mean, it was a good game. I think I threw for around 400 yards, 6 touchdowns yesterday. It was good.
No, you got knocked out of the game yesterday.
No.
This is not funny, dude. Why do you think this is funny? This is terrible radio. Why do you keep calling our show with random names?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, so yesterday, do you not remember getting hit and immediately putting your arm up, woozy as hell, like something was wrong?
No. I got hit pretty hard, but I was pointing to the birds circling around my head.
Okay, that's weird. So Joe, who's the best running back on your team?
Jay Ajayi.
On your team, Joe. Your team.
Jordan Howard.
Okay, Joe, are you okay? Because it feels like maybe
everything's good.
It feels like maybe you're making fun of concussions right now, and that's not funny. So, are you okay, sir?
No. Yeah, I'm 100% fine. We had a good win yesterday. I played well. We're good.
Because we just spent 10 minutes talking about not being tone deaf in this day and age in the NFL, and being careful of what your comments are. So, are you sure that you want to continue pretending like you didn't have any problem with a concussion?
I got hit pretty hard. Okay, I saw the little birds flying around my head. You know how in cartoons you have the birds flying around here? I had that. I was pointing to the birds. Everything was fine. People are blowing this out of proportion. I'm completely okay.
Joe, how many times have you thrown for over 4,000 yards in your career?
10.
Okay.
Sounded just like Dale. Was crazy.
That is crazy.
No. This is Joe from Baltimore. I eat crab legs, and I play football.
Okay. By the way, the answer to that question is 1. You've thrown over 4,000 yards once.
Hey, guys, I appreciate being on your show, but I got to run. Again, you guys, both of you, Mike and Mike, are doing a great job, They're over there on ESPN. I listen very often. So keep up the good work over there.
And all right, Joe. Tell Ryan to give us a call. Tell Mallet to give us a call. I think we'd rather talk to him at this point.
Okay, thanks.
I hate your new haircut.
Brado, am I still there?
Yep. What?
All right. No. I'm here.
All right.
I just wasn't sure.
All right, so before we close out the show, I'm going to be doing later on today and throughout the weekend, I'm going to be posting drafts. And so I want to take just a minute and tell our listeners about what draft is. You can join over the 500,000 people that have already downloaded draft. I personally love playing draft every weekend. It's my favorite way to play daily fantasy football because you get the same DFS feel, but you can do an actual live snake draft every single week. You can get, if you want to try it out, you're not sure about it, use our promo code EATSLEEPFANTASY, and you'll actually get a real money $3 league and be able to play with us for free with that promo code. They're so sure about their product, and there's not that many people in daily fantasy that are doing this, but they're so sure about their product and that you'll love playing draft that they're doing a promotion right now that they'll give you your money back if you don't like it, up to $100. So if you deposit money, you don't like it, you can actually ask for it back. I don't see many people doing that in daily. So if you want to follow me, it's ESF Brito. Dale is ESF Dale. Armando, I think, is ESF Armando.
Yep.
Dale is calling in. I don't know if I want to take this phone call, but play us on draft, man. I'm going to be doing a ton of these this weekend because there's a ton of money sitting in my draft account. So if you get a ton of notifications, just know that it's coming from me. I'm excited to play you guys. See if you can try to take my money this week. Dale, what's up, man?
Hey, man, how's it going? Thanks for you guys are doing a good show.
Hey, you just missed our call with Joe, with Flacco. Yeah.
Get out of here. Did I? Damn it.
Yeah.
How was it?
Yeah.
You missed.
It was okay.
It's really weird how we keep missing interviews like this.
How was Joe? Was he feeling okay?
I think
100%.
so. Yeah, he's doing good. I think he's better than ever.
Good. That's good.
Yeah.
You guys are doing a good job. I just wanted to call and say, give you guys some positive reinforcement. Are you guys having a lot of callers tonight?
Do you know what positive reinforcement is?
Yes, I know what positive reinforcement. I'm praising you for something you did with the treat. Just like
What's
my
the
dog.
treat?
Yeah. Right.
What's the treat,
what's the treat? I don't know. I'll figure it out.
All right, so positive reinforcement, for it to be positive reinforcement, has to make my behavior, that behavior that you're trying to reinforce, more likely in the future. But when you tell me good job, it feels condescending, and it makes me feel like it's something that I want to do less often in the future.
No, you guys are seriously doing a good job. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of the podcast that has become a big
Hold on,
ESF.
Dale. Hold on. I got something for you. Hold on.
Fuck you, Dale! Fuck you!
Nice.
There you
Good
go.
job.
All right. And I got something to pretty much sum up our show so far. Since I haven't hit these buttons at all, this pretty much sums up every time we try to talk fantasy.
Yeah, that happened.
Yeah. All right, Dale. Since we already did ours, Dale, give us one player that you like this weekend.
Chris Thompson. He's a top 12 running back this week.
We just talked about him. Yeah, you.
Did you? Yeah.
Are you the one that has him at 10? I got him at 15.
Yep, so.
He is.
All right. Yeah, we are all pretty high on Chris Thompson this week. So I got to look into those numbers even a little bit more because you guys are making me feel like me at 15, like I'm low on him apparently. So
no,
he's been crazy consistent, man.
15 is safe. I'm going for the home run now.
All right, we got a couple of tweets that I want to address before you guys go. Duke Johnson. He's been pretty consistent for the most part this season. We got a tweeter saying they think that this week he's going to be a top, a top 15 option potentially again, that he's going to be solid again this week. What do you guys think about that?
I think there's too many good matchups this week. I can't see it happening.
Okay. What about you, Dale? Did Dale just leave?
I think so. What do you think, Brito?
I think he's okay. I think top 15 is a little bit high. If it's a PPR league, I'm inclined to think that's pretty close to what he is, just because you are going to get those catches. But in a standard league, Minnesota's been pretty solid against the run for the most part. I don't see a top 15 week, but I think you could still play him and be okay.
Oh, yeah. I wouldn't bench him by any means, but...
Yep.
Do you want to make an eat bet? Just because we can make one?
For what?
Kareem Hunt is not top 10 this week.
Give me top 12 and I'll take it.
I'll take it.
You're gonna eat lightning and you're gonna crap thunder. Nom, 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 oh, nom, 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 nom.
I'm gonna make you.
I would have
eat
guessed my
something
rankings for
gross.
that one. Well, no one's eaten anything this year. Dale still hasn't eaten anything from last year.
Dale needs to do his final punishment from last year, and it needs to be because he's waited. Because we've waited this long, it needs to be like horrendous. He needs to eat something gross while getting his body waxed. Like it needs to be intense. Yeah. We need to we need to induce a seizure. I need to be careful with what I say.
Yeah.
Because now we've said something about concussions.
Seizures.
Is that okay? Yeah. I'm sorry. But yeah, man, he needs to pay out his bets. You're 100% right. He's really bad at this.
Yeah.
All right. One more question before we wrap up the show here, Armando. There's been a lot of talk about the wide receiver position in Pittsburgh. And so Juju Smith-Schuster is in. Martavis Bryant is out. So the questions that I'm getting are Schuster versus this guy in a lot of scenarios. So would you rather have this week Ted Ginn Jr., it's been pretty solid the last couple weeks, or Juju?
Ted Ginn.
I 100% agree. I think another week, when New Orleans is playing either at home or a few weeks ago when they were coming off a bye, they're so consistent in the Dome. I think you're going to get a really good week out of all your Saints. I'm very high on New Orleans again this week. I agree with you, Armando. Give me Ted Ginn. I think he is a borderline wide receiver too. Like I'm starting him with confidence.
Oh wow. That's bold, Brito.
To say he's a top 24 wide receiver?
I think he's a wide receiver 3 solidly. I would not put him in wide receiver 2 territory.
I said he's borderline.
I'm nervous.
Borderline. That means he's just outside of it.
Okay. All right.
If I tell you he's wide receiver 27, right? I think I have him right around like 26 or 27, something like that. If I have to look at my rankings. So let me just go. You know what? I'm going to ecfantasy.com. My gut tells me I have Ted Ginn somewhere around 27.
26. You have 26.
There you go. I'm just pretty much saying what I think.
I have him at 28, so we're not that far off.
There you go. You're not that far off. We're pretty close on him. So we're going Ginn in that option. All right. I'm going to wrap up the show now. Oh, we got a couple callers. We got a caller now.
Wow. Okay.
Because I think I missed one. Yeah. So we last caller from the 407. I think that's Orlando. Caller from the 407. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, what's up, buddy? It's Chris. Yeah, I'm calling from actually Tennessee. I just moved here, but I just have a couple in-and-out questions.
How you doing, Chris?
Yeah. What's up,
in-and-out questions related to the burger, or are they related to sex? Because it could be.
Well, it's always in-and-out. Sex, but I mean, hey, I've never had an In-N-Out burger.
Okay. All right. That got weird. Let's move on. What are your questions, man?
All right, so flex spot, I have Adam Thielen in it right now. I wanted to know either should I put Ted Ginn or Adam Thielen, and then also, do you guys know about Luke Kuechly? Is he in or is he out this week? I know he's under concussion protocol.
He's clear concussion protocol, and I'd go Thielen.
Okay.
Okay.
Thielen, and then what about?
Yeah, I'd go Thielen as well, by the way. He's been at some point he's going to score a touchdown, but the yardage has been there.
I've been waiting all season. I've been waiting all season for it.
If I'm not mistaken, I think he's averaging like 76 yards a game or something like that. So it's hard to average that.
Solid 10-point game.
It's hard to get that many yards a game and not score touchdowns, which is what he's doing. It's going to come at some point. I think this might be a good week for it.
That's what I was thinking against Cleveland. I mean, they have a horrible pass D, so. And then also Doug Martin or Duke Johnson Jr.
Standard or PPR?
PPR.
Duke.
That makes it closer for me. I'm still going Dougie.
No, I'm going Duke.
Give me Dougie the dinosaur. In a PPR, it's very close though. In a standard, it's not close.
Okay.
I think I'll go
Dougie the
Duke.
dinosaur. Duke. Why Duke?
And
yeah, I don't think it's close. I don't think it's close at all.
So why? Tell us why.
I think that we are overhyping the Doug Martin. Yeah, exactly. I feel like he's going to get a lot more work than he's used to this week.
My thing with Duke Johnson, I feel like because it's Minnesota, they have such a good pass D that they're going to have to go to those short slant routes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that was my train of thought on it.
100% agree with that.
And Carolina has a good run defense, so.
Carolina does have a good run defense, but Doug Martin's been very
Doug Martin, he hasn't been good, Brito, at all. Like he's been mediocre.
He's averaging 12.2 fantasy points a game since he came back.
I know, but he hasn't gone over 100 yards rushing yet. He scored 2 touchdowns. The touchdowns are what's getting him over there. He's not been consistent. You can't be dependent off the rushing touchdowns.
I mean, he's catching a couple balls a game as well. Even if you're not counting the touchdowns, he's getting about 80 yards a game. So that's
just counting.
Solid.
If I'm looking at yardage alone, I'd rather have Duke Johnson. I'm not counting touchdowns because you can't count on those. I'd rather have Duke.
Yeah, I disagree. I'm gonna go Doug just because, and this is a PPR league, so it's close. But Doug Martin's gonna get more work. Look at last week, 22 touches for for Doug Martin. I'd rather have him.
Okay, even against Carolina.
Even against Carolina, I know that matchup is a bottom 10 matchup. It's not great, but I'd rather have Doug Martin.
Okay, I mean he has a good lineup coming up. I mean he has New Orleans week 9, the Jets week 10. So I mean,
and like Armando was correct, by the way. Kuechly in today actually was cleared to play. So
that's what I thought. I wasn't expecting that out, but
yeah,
he's a baller. So.
All right, man. Thank you for calling, and we'll talk to you again next week, hopefully. All right, later. All right, Armando. That's pretty much going to wrap up our live show. You got any last words? Wow, that sounds like I'm going to kill you.
Yep. You want to make an e-bet on Duke Johnson versus Doug Martin this week?
No, I'm not betting against Duke Johnson. No, thank you.
All right.
I know where to. If it's in a PPR, I'm not doing that. If it was a standard league, I would feel more confident to do it. But hey, man, Duke Johnson's my boy. I've been saying that all season. I think he's still surprising people out here. And the more he continues to be productive, the more I think he might actually be the guy by the end of the year. Cleveland has nothing else to play for. So. Yeah, and I think he's been solid enough. I don't know if he can handle a full workload. The one thing that coming out of college that he people talked about was he has a little bit of durability issues, but he's been super solid, man. I like the guy. All right, Armando. Well, that's going to pretty much wrap up our Friday live show. And we'll be back on Sunday. If you have any questions, we're on Periscope. We're on the SleeperBot app. We're on Twitter at EatSleepFF. You can find our rankings on EatSleepFantasy.com. You can draft with us on the Draft app. Just follow us. EatSleepFantasy is our promo code. Anything else you want to mention, Armando?
No, I think you did it. Good job.
All right. All right, guys. Have a good night. Enjoy your weekend. Get those wins.
Yeah. Eat, sleep, fantasy, you rockin' with the best. NFL Fantasy Football Podcast. We talking mock drafts, running backs, better follow the conversation with Dale, Christian, and Armando. Screaming Eat Nation, we doing what we like. Tune in every week, guarantee we get it hype. Fantasy, football enthusiasts, I know you plan to be joining us on Eat, Sleep, Fantasy. Yeah, Eat, Sleep, Fantasy. Eat, Sleep, Fantasy.
Just getting up or just getting out the door? We get it. Life in SoCal isn't always 9 to 5. That's why this morning team is going strong at the crack of dawn for you. Shauna, her forecast will tell you what to wear. Whit and Daniela, they'll break down all the morning's breaking news so nothing takes you by surprise. It's simple. You wake up, we'll open your eyes. Today in LA, now starting at 4 a.m. on NBC 4U. Just getting up or just getting out the door? We get it. Life in SoCal isn't always 9 to 5. That's why this morning team is going strong at the crack of dawn for you. Shauna, her forecast will tell you what to wear. Whit and Daniela, they'll break down all the morning's breaking news so nothing takes you by surprise. It's simple. You wake up, we'll open your eyes. Today in LA, now starting at 4 a.m. on NBC 4U.